Hi there, welcome to HoboRec. I'm Ulf. This week we're going to take a look at the fourth part of the recording analog with Grace.Will.Fall, full analog project that we've been working on for a while, and it's being released now in the end of May. The three first parts about the recording, you can go back and watch them. You can find the links in the description, and this is the fourth part, which is about the mixing and mastering phase. So here we go. To be able to keep track of things, it's obviously very important to mark up everything in a good way. We also transferred the songs from the tape to a computer, so that way we could play them simultaneously and kind of have a visual image of where in the song we were to know when we were supposed to be doing the mixing moves and stuff. No audio was ran through the computer in the actual mix, it was just for a visual reference. The whole mixing process was done in 2 sessions. The first one we were the whole band together, working together, but we had some technical issues at that time, so I had to redo a couple of songs on my own. But at that point I already had a clear vision of what we were doing, so it wasn't that hard. During that first session we also did some overlays, vocal overdubs, percussion and keyboards, and obviously very analog keyboards too.
Du använder de höga tonerna rätt mycket också. Det är nästan otäckare där, tycker jag. Det blir lite jobbigt att ha hela tiden. Början där hur man ska... Ja, jag har inte... Fan, man kommer knappt ihåg att spela den.
Nej, början är inte bättre att bara ligga på den tiden.
Nej, jag får bara lägga en rak där.
Hela vägen.
Ja, tills det börjar gå igång. Some of the songs were really complex to mix, so we had to be up to 3 guys sitting next to each other, trying to do all the moves we had to do. While other songs were a bit easier, so could be managed with just programming some VCA faders. As I said, we could use some VCA faders to kind of pre-program some automation moves with volume jumps. You pretty much assign one fader to another VCA that has a drop or boost of a certain amount of dBs, and when you activate that VCA, you're gonna get that change, and then you can switch back and forth without actually moving the fader up and down. Other things we also had to do during the mix was to punch in and out some percussion things, and you can have a look here and see how some of the things were done. And here are some practical mix details. We ran the drums to a stereo bus in parallel with the individual tracks. This stereo bus got crushed with my DIY built SSL bus compressor to give them some spank. Also, the kick and snare went through a SPL transient designer because the kick had a bit of a long ring and the snare sometimes had too much snare bus ringing, so I had to take care of that. Other than that, the drums just got some gentle EQ on the Harrison console. The vocals were treated in two different ways. We had one vocal going in the center, the lead vocals, that got some additional compression and drive through a distressor, and then we had all the overdubs and backups in stereo. Altogether, they went through a stereo bus with some minor limiter through a pair of 1176s, and the vocals also went to a stereo bus with an EMT 140 plate and also one fader with a Roland chorus echo for occasional effects. The guitars and bass just went straight to the master bus together with everything else. Solos and melody parts sometimes also got sent through the plate reverb and got assigned to VCA faders to be able to switch volume between preset values. Let's talk about the master bus. Before sending the mix to the master tape, we went through a couple of pieces of gear. First we had the Valley People Dynamite, where we only used the gate to get rid of some noise build-up at the start at the end of some songs. After that, we went through a Paramedic EQ from Mayer Sounds to notch out some nasty ringing in the 2 to 3 kHz range. That EQ had a possibility to get a really narrow Q value, so it was really handy. Then we squeezed the mix together with this really cool mastering compressor from Audioscape called the D-Comp. I use this a lot now on my mix bus since then. And after that, some tonal shaping with a Hammer EQ, where we had a low cut to get rid of some rumble, then some 30 Hz boost to get some of that bottom back, a little cut at 250 Hz to get rid of some muddiness, and finally some boost at 15 kHz. I wanted to run this mix as bright as possible to the master tape, so we didn't have to boost too much in the vinyl mastering or the digital mastering to avoid extra hiss and noise. When the mix was done, it was time to sequence the master tapes, decide what order the songs was going to be, and prepare everything for the engravement of the vinyl master. There's another mix session going on in the control room, so I moved this in here to the workshop. Which is better anyways, because it's better lighting, so I see what I do with the tape. And where we're at now, I just finished the A side of the master tape, so we're gonna start with the B side now. First song is already on this, and we're gonna cut that tape to merge it with the song after. Yes, we're gonna do a little cut here, and then I'm gonna take this off because the next song we're gonna use on this one is third take of the next mix, so we're gonna move it forward to that part. So I have this extra reel where we just put everything that's not supposed to be on the record. So this is not very crucial. So I take a piece of splice tape and just put this together. It was a bit off, but never mind, because it's not going to be used. Make sure all the air bubbles are gone, so it holds the tape together. And now I will fast forward 1, 2, 3, 2 songs, and then it's the third one we're gonna have, I believe. And now I think we're on third. Yep. Yeah, Yeah, so we're going to find the start point of the second song on the B-side. So I want to have that little feedback tone before. So I'll draw a line here. It would be better to have like a white pen or something, but now I have a pencil. Cut that. Take this off. And I'm back with the reel. It has the first song of the B-side on it. That ends right where it's cut. So I'm gonna splice it together with the second song. There we go. Let's listen to the transition. That's the way to do it. After that, I went to Stockholm to get the vinyl engravement done at Atlantis Studios.
Jag vill veta långt, vet du det?
One thing that have been bugging me is that some vinyl engravement facilities run the signal through a digital delay unit to let the engravement machine know how much space it needs between the grooves. First off, Atlantis does this with an extra playhead on the tape deck, so no digital delay. Apparently our mix was so loud on the master tape so there was nothing sticking out. This meant the delay wasn't needed. Janne did some test runs and figured out how much space the grooves needed and just went with it from there. Den är varm den här.
Ja, det sitter en värmeslinga runt nu. Som har värme tillräckligt mycket. Inte för mycket värme, lagom.
Varorna behöver du hjälp med att se till när det är låtbyte?
Ja, det börjar bli dags.
that's it for this time. There might be one more video about the actual pressing of the record too. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out the links in the description with more info about the record if you want to hear it or even support it by buying the actual LP. So see you in the next video. Thanks again. Bye bye. Cheers.